In this video, we will review linear equations, including writing equations in point-slope form and changing forms of linear equations.
The point-slope form is another way of writing an equation. In this equation, you're going to fill it in with the coordinates of a point and the slope. In the first blank, you fill in the y-coordinate of the point. In the next blank, you fill in the slope. And finally, you fill in the x-coordinate of the point. And filling in the blanks is the easiest way to rewrite it, and it's the easiest way to write an equation. For our first example, it says to write the equation of a line through the point -2, 1 with a slope of 4/3. Now the easiest way to do this is to rewrite our point-slope form with the blanks. So it's y minus the blank equals the blank times x minus the blank. Now we're going to fill this in. So our slope goes in the blank next to the parentheses. So it's 4/3. And then of our coordinate, the y goes with the y. So I'm going to fill in from this part right here. I'm going to say it's y minus 1 and x minus -2. Now I can simplify this one step further to become y minus 1 equals 4/3, and subtracting a negative is the same thing as saying x plus 2. For the next one, it says to write the equation of a line through 6, -5 with a slope of 7. So I'm going to fill it in to the formula. So if I fill it in, my slope is 7, so that goes next to parentheses. And my coordinate is 6, -5. So I can fill in the -5 with the y and the 6 with the x. And if I simplify this, y minus -5 is really y plus 5 equals 7 times x minus 6. Pause the video and try the next one on your own. In our next example, we're again writing the equation of a line given a point and the slope. So our slope is -5/4. So I'm going to plug that in next to parentheses. And our point is 2, -5. So I'm going to put the -5, which is the y-coordinate, with the y, and the x-coordinate with the x. And this would simplify to be y plus 5, -5/4 x minus 2. Now, if we are given 2 points and it asks us to write the equation of a line of point slope, first you have to find the slope of the line. So if I were to do this for this example, I'm going to call my points x1, y1, x2, y2. And I'll plug them in to the slope formula. So if I do that, I have my slope is 5 minus 0 over 5 minus. If I simplify, I'm going to have 5/4, and that's my slope of the equation. Now to write it in point-slope form, it depends upon which point you choose. If I chose to use the point of 1, 0, my equation would be as follows. So I'm going to fill it in to that general formula again. So I'm going to plug in, so my slope is 5/4, my y is 0, and my x is 1. And this would be a fine answer. If I had instead chosen to use the point 5, 5, my answer would be different. So I would substitute into that general formula again. So this time I would have, I'm going to plug in, my slope is 5/4, my y is 5, and my x is 5. So my final answer for this one is given here. And again, either of these answers is correct. Pause this video and take a minute to try the next one on your own. In the next example, I'm writing the equation through the points -4, 10 and -6, 15. So first, I need to find the slope of the line. So I'm going to plug it into the slope formula, which is y2, so it's 15, minus y1, which is 10, over x2, which is -6, minus -4. If I simplify, 15 minus 10 gives me 5, and this becomes -6 plus 4. This will become 5 over -2, which I could rewrite as -5 over 2. Now, if you had chosen the point -4, 10, you'd plug it into your original point slope. So we'd have our formula set up, and I would substitute. So my slope is -5 over 2, my y is 10, and my x is -4. So this will become y minus 10 equals -5/2 times x plus 4. Now, if instead you had chosen the point -6, 15, you would also still substitute it into that same original general formula. So my slope is still -5/2. The y coordinate is 15, and the x coordinate is -6. So I could rewrite this as y minus 15 equals -5/2 x plus 6. In this video, you will learn about changing forms of linear equations. First, let's review the 3 different forms of linear equations we have. First, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. Next, we have point-slope form, which we can write formally as y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, or we can write with our blanks. So it's y minus the blank equals the blank times x minus the blank, where m is the slope and x1, y1 is a point on the line. Standard form is ax plus by is equal to c. Now, in order to write a linear equation, the equation type you're going to choose depends on what you're given. So if you are given the slope and y-intercept, use slope-intercept form. If you are given a graph, use slope-intercept form again. If you are given a point and a slope, you can use point-slope form. And lastly, if you are given 2 points, you're going to calculate the slope and then use point-slope form. Now, in order to change an equation that's in standard form into slope-intercept form, our goal is to change it into that y equals mx plus b form. So you want to solve to get y by itself. So the first step of this process is I would subtract 3x from both sides, which will give me 2y equals -3x plus 6. Then to finish getting y by itself, I would have to divide both sides by 2. So that'll give me y equals -3 divided by 2 is -3 over 2x, and 6 divided by 2 equals 3. So it's plus 3. The one thing to be careful of here is just making sure that you divide everything by 2. In the next example, we're given an equation in slope-intercept form, and we want to change it into standard form, which is ax plus by equals c. and A, B, and C are integers, meaning that there should be no fractions. Okay, so first thing we want to do is we need to get x and y on the same side of the equation. So I'm going to subtract 5 over 3x from both sides. So that'll give me negative 5 over 3x plus y equals negative 2. Now if we're going to make sure that we have no fractions left in the equation, I had to get rid of that negative, the 3 in the denominator. So I would multiply the entire equation by 3. So it would give me negative 5x plus 3y equals negative 6. Now, if we're given an equation in point slope and we want to change the slope intercept, that means we're changing into that y equals mx plus b form. So we want to solve to get y by itself. So just like we did with point slope form, the first thing is you're going to distribute your 7 to both terms. So you'll have y plus 3 equals 7x plus 35. Then to finish solving to get y by itself, you would subtract 3 from both sides. So you'll have y equals 7x plus 32. And that's your final answer. In our last example, we're going to change an equation from point slope form into standard form. So we're going to start with our equation in point slope form and first change it into slope intercept, which is y equals mx plus b. So in order to do so, we'd first distribute our 7. So we'll have y plus 3 equals 7x plus 35. Then to finish getting y by itself, we would subtract 3 from both sides to get y equals 7x plus 32. Now the last part of changing into standard form is the standard form is ax plus by equals c. So essentially x and y both need to be on the left side of the equation. So in order to do that, I could subtract 7x from both sides. So it'll give me negative 7x plus y equals 32. And that would be my final answer.